today, Rinpoche showed us clearly that having the patience that has to endure suffering is of the utmost importance. We've endured various types of suffering for nonsense in all of our lifetimes. Why not endure suffering for liberation?
Thank you.
Let's go. I think I had it. Okay, just 415. The kettle of beings in hell. The thing is, sampa the ngatsu the nipa drojowa la megashin ngatsu the chinsar.
Nipa junjowa.
Jip jeja juje. Where was the last?
We went up to 170, page 175.
5?
175, yeah. That's where we left off. We left off at number 2 on 175.
Okay.
There's nothing on the benefit.
Okay. The jipja. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
The konde sedu jeja juje.
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 Juje talmandu zaro, na?
Jipja juje.
18.
418. So you said 175.
Yeah, page 175.
Okay.
We left off, we ended with farming, business, and war.
Okay.
We're going to start at number 2.
Nipa la ni.
Oh, tene sare. Tene ongolung ta.
Chishena de nipa la ni.
Oh, tene digdo.
Okay. Tuche. Okay, so we're going to begin on page, just give me one moment, 174B. So that's where we'll begin today. So just maybe going back a little. Anybody have a pen? I don't seem to have any pens over here. Thank you so much. Okay.
Oh, tene ba tene ma tabala sobi tene chi pensa ba tabato na pensa bro.
Less so.
Oh, marbe tene chi pensa ba da dunga ba dobi pensa ba sajini digdo wa. Ta tambo tabala sobi tene chi pensa ba. Da ngo kwa nas da ngo kwa na ku tses goba me ba de ba jungzi ri shedo dungan jungwa she jang dungan toma che do se ne shimala dungan pa do me ba nyo yu junju ne dungan me be dungan toma ta to la na ta ne ta rajin je phed pa do me ba rubi gwala shoba shejin do hamale shwa cha monjo do dunga ta do la wa rena dunga dans les jeux do renas de yu chungwa la ta jeme nyang do yan lo ten ba sha os kon ta shwenju de ma shwenju les
Less so.
depuis notre silence nyawa tonja nyojo chang da ge rangi dans ne jenji to ma jezo de ne temps ne me la de chen da jang noju ju ne se la gamba ji drisha
Less so. Less so. Okay, so everyone, once again, we're on page 174 in the English of the Great Treatise on the Stage of the Path to Enlightenment. And specifically, we're at B, It says 2 in the Tibetan, but in order to divide all of the outline, they've chosen to use letters as well as numbers in the English for subcategories. So we're in this subcategory number 2, which is reflecting on the advantages of bearing suffering's hardships. So there are 2 categories under that major heading. The first is reflecting on the crucial benefits such as liberation or nirvana, and the second is reflecting on the benefit of dispelling immeasurable suffering. So the first category, reflecting on the crucial benefits such as liberation, etc., we begin with this first category here. Repeatedly, and Rinpoche hasn't mentioned any divisions from the 4 interwoven commentaries yet. So, reflecting on the crucial benefits such as liberation, etc., repeatedly make your mind steadfast, thinking, I know that in the past, while passing through cyclic existence, I suffered for the sake of trifling desires and minor deeds, yet I discouraged the many sufferings, undergoing a great deal of purposeless suffering that will in turn cause immeasurable suffering for me in my future lives. Given this, now that I know that I am engaged in the virtue that will accomplish immeasurable benefits and happiness for myself and others, it is appropriate that I accept suffering in 1,000,000,000 times more than before. So of course I will accept suffering smaller than that. And then we have a quote from Engaging in the Bodhisattva Deeds by Master Shantideva. For the sake of my desires, I have experienced being burned, etc., thousands of times in the hells, but have not achieved either my own welfare or the welfare of others. This is not as harmful as that, and it achieves great purpose, so it is correct here only to delight in the suffering that clears away all beings hurt. Decent. Shunjulung Sa.
타발라 수비 된치 편에서 뭐 타바도스나 편이지 그래서 다 타바스가 가려자고 그러잖아. 뇌리 봉비 타바 시리 봉비 타바든 요로다.
Lesso.
뇌리 봉비 타바든 되랑제 대전 송갈로 요로 시리 봉비 타바데 대바 제말로 마도 용어 말어.
So this first category, reflecting on the crucial benefits such as liberation, etc., there are various types of liberation. So if we divide it by way of 2, we can say the liberation which has abandoned the afflictive obstructions, and then second, the liberation which abandons the obstructions to omniscience. The afflictive obstructions are abandoned by the lesser vehicle practitioners, if here are solitary realizers, and the obstructions to omniscience are abandoned by the great vehicle practitioners, the bodhisattvas. Decent.
다 타바스는 뇌리 봉비 타바데 시리 봉비 타바든 그러거든. 어떤데 왜도 봐서 제바이나 안내 아주 신 매일 치소나 안내 신도 매일 치 매바샤는 도와. 전나지 네 동아지 동안 유 동안 차반 뒤지 동안도 봉비 타바요 그래서 네 땡데 이비 주선시 대바마로 또비 데메 또비 매 네 동아지 동안다 유 동안도 차반 뒤지 동안도 치네 네 동아지 동안 매바다 차반 뒤지 동안 매바다 네 차반 뒤지 동안 매바도 타발로 그래서 타바 말바
Lesso.
어떤데 산다고 말로.
So how does this, so here we're reflecting on the crucial benefits such as liberation. How does a liberation occur? What is this liberation that is the liberation which is abandonment of the afflictive obstructions, and a liberation which is abandonment of the obstructions to omniscience? When we look at the potential for a tree to be exhausted, we see that fire will do that. If we take fire, we can exhaust a tree. We can burn a tree down. Likewise, we have the 3 types of suffering that we have to endure. The suffering of change, and the pervasive compounded suffering. What we're speaking of when we speak of liberation is an existence which has the non-existence of any among those 3 types of suffering: the suffering of change, the pervasive compounded suffering, and the suffering of suffering. So a liberation is a state free of those, in which there is non-existence of those 3 types of suffering. So how does that occur? How is one able to use this example of the tree being able to be burned down to create that non-existence, because what our goal is to create the non-existence of the suffering, the suffering of change, and the pervasive compounded suffering in our experience. So what we do is we apply a correct view which serves as an opponent to that which gives rise to all of the afflictions and so forth. And that correct view is the reason of dependent origination that establishes the lack of true establishment of phenomena, the emptiness of phenomena. So by relying on the reason of dependent origination, we're able to extinguish those three types of suffering because we're extinguishing the mistaken view that gives rise to those three. So by relying on the reason of dependent origination, we establish the lack of true establishment, which then, in the same way that a tree is burned, is exhausted, exhausts and burns away those three types of suffering, which are the states of cyclic existence. Disa.
타바드비 따고 난데 시티 된 거를 땐도 마인데 줄라 그수시시로스 땐도 마인데 줄라 그수시시로스 어떻게 타바드비 따된 거래 타바드비 따한다 땐도 마인데 줄라 그수시시로스 저가들 따가르 거스나 타메비 나메지 공부주 따가데 그 공부주 랑그 레준 시비리여데스 신문 치바나지 랑그 레준 시비리여데 최지 주의라 내지냐부터 내외배셔 타메 등의 공부대 주지 네 덴진라 내지냐부터 내면도 비시로 여배셔 어떻게 되다.
So we establish in the Pramanavartika Karika by Dharmakirti the reason that liberation exists. And the reason that he establishes that a liberation exists is because that which causes its opposite can be abandoned. So the fact that the abandonment of the causes of cyclic existence can occur, therefore cyclic existence can be exhausted. So we say that the aggregates of cyclic existence are in the lineage of that which can be exhausted because it's caused. And when we look at what the cause of it is, we'll see that it is the mistaken view that grasps at true establishment. So if we can get rid of the cause, then the result will then no longer occur. So the cyclical, I can never say that word, cyclical aggregates, the aggregates of cyclic existence are exhausted by exhausting that which causes them to come into being. So I have to look up the exact quote from the Pramanavartika Karika, but it's something to that effect, that when Rinpoche explained the quote, that's the explanation, that its causes can be exhausted. It's within the lineage of that which can be exhausted. The long yanju sunam?
Tendo maite jula gisu sishiros. Tendo maite jula gisu sishiros.
Dua?
Jula gisu jo, nebo jo. Jula gisu sishiros. Tataka tago de tamebe namej pombu ku pombu chuje. Rangi rejun sebi de yoares.
De lasa.
Chuje juje la neji nyamto ne yebeje.
Okay, so it's. I was looking for the quote again, but I'm not going to get any closer than I was before. But this topic, or the subject, the aggregates of cyclic existence, can be exhausted because they are within the lineage of that which can be exhausted, of having been caused. So if the cause is eliminated, then that which it gives rise to also then can be eliminated. Decent.
What the that taba yue masu laba ina taba yue bi jusen what to say. So
for those who state there is no liberation, here are reasons that we can posit for the existence of liberation.
Taba la subi tenchi pen samba da ne taba tu suna pen shibro da dungel tai taba tu du ne dewa yung gro da an se sama ga dewa de ga dungel do mares taba la subi tenchi pen samba da dungel ba de me do bi pen sambas ne os taba tu suna dungel ba de me do nu do pen sambas tambo da ko na ku che go ba me ba deba chungse ri sheto dengan nyong she jans ne kwal ku do dengan nyong she go war dengan che du se ne dengan toma che du se ne dengan toma che du se ne shemala dengan toma che du se ne ane tela ne shemala dengan pa de ma ba nyoyu ne le ma ba sa no go res nyoyu jor chebe teme dengan toma ta to la nas dengan ta to la ne le ga ma ba je ga ro so de so la na ta ne da ra ji je pen de ba de me ba drubi go la sho ba she jin do kama le sho cha mon ju do dengan ta to la wa renas na dengan ta lang zo ba do de ke che ba de so de ta to la wa rena te yu chung wa la da je me yang do yang lo den ba sha wos ta di kong de ga de na xuan ju le depuis de si la su niwa tong cha nyo je jans ra ge de ka so wa le nga ba de sa ne niwa tong cha nyo je jans niwa le chen lo tong cha mo de nga tong cha mo nyo je jang da ge ra ge de da ne yen je de ma je so da ge ra de je de she ma res de ne ta ta ne me la de ne ta ta ne me la 等现大家入去，等现大家入去，等现多年了，刚把这这些人是，等多年当两个月吧的，那搞不结果是送电视，下些送吧单儿，我让前几天刚样，门主比，感谢得张写吧了，上年。 但对全部主笔对俺记事的，没就是对全部主笔写的对俺当那个说吧，那记事没写的写过的是，没是电脑对俺越讲，那咋不下月吧？那对俺越讲，那咋不下月？对俺越讲，对俺当然就说吧，那咋不下月吧呢？大概2年吧，我大概我的年初也不。 我说那那最也不中国的是，大概年吧2年多年多，3旁拖几把小时三手差距嘛，才拖不结果的是，拖几把小时，我都搞两句呢。
卡巴卡西巴下午。 So Rinpoche reread some of this. Given this now that I know that I am engaged in virtue that will accomplish immeasurable benefits and happiness for myself and others, it is appropriate that I accept suffering 1 trillion times more than before. So of course, how am I going to translate that? Okay. I will accept suffering smaller than that. Engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds states, for the sake of my desires, I have experienced being burned, etc., thousands of times in the hells and have not achieved either my own welfare or the welfare of others. This is not as harmful as that and achieves a great purpose. So it is correct here that only to delight in the suffering that clears away all beings' hurt. Thus, after you reflect on how you have previously created only hardship, that did not accomplish any of your own and others' aims, uplift your mind thinking, why am I not bearing a suffering that achieves great purpose? Although I am suffering, how excellent that I have found something like this to do. So I think I read further on. We'll see where Rinpoche picks up. So it's for the sake of my own attachment and so forth, and according to the engaging in the bodhisattva deeds, it says, for the sake of my own attachment, I have been burned thousands of times in the hells, but have not achieved even my own welfare, let alone the benefit and the welfare of all sentient beings. So that's the point that's being made in this. So here, this is not as harmful as that. So here, this is based making the point that one should rely on the patience which undergoes suffering in order to achieve these great aims. It says, because of my desires, I've experienced much worse suffering than I would have to endure by having the patience of enduring suffering now. So instead of creating more of that, it would make sense for me to engage in the ethics, or engage in its opposite, engage in the ethics of patience, which endures that suffering. So I believe that's everything.
This way.
Diesel.
Da jiyan shinyan ngabe lhune, shinyan ngabe lhune, den ma bi le ngaba la, don zu son la chomba dan, manga den ba suji, kashi zober sheba dans, jiyan shinyan ngabe lhune, da den ga su ga jugure. Ne shirubi total wa de yodro da.
Less so.
Don zu son la chomba, don zu son kan chomba in de batan res.
Less so.
An manga den ba shujel majetan, tul ma nyama chigoro. What the doing over in a Tibetan Buddhism, Mangatemba Suji, Kaji, Zoba Sheba dance, Mangatemba Suji, Kaji, what the Zoba Sheba dance, Jitembi Guba Membi, Chedo, Shinle dans Tonla Soba, Shinkagilega, and the Tonjaya, Unjeba Suma, Unjeba Suji, Dungatoma, Saint Zoba Nam, Sans Las, ne kajiji menjiba jiba shaos what the jidebe le kal don zo son lu choba da manga ten bala so bat so wat zoba ina nga so what the kaso go ba chibi chedo dunga tan jeba la ne sansu je go res shele dan son dan yuje ba soje dunga toma sen zoba sen zoba na san la sa ne kajiji menjiba jiba shaos kajigi shiba meba sansu je go res on den sa what about jujana
I'm going to read this after. Thus, after you reflect on how you have previously created only hardship that did not accomplish any of your own or others' aims, uplift your mind thinking, why am I not now bearing a suffering that achieves great purpose? Am I suffering? How excellent that I have found something like this to do. So it's actually establishing that you are suffering and then accepting it through patience and looking at it as a benefit in some way, that how wonderful it is that I have something like this to deal with. Moreover, develop a fearless attitude toward hardship, thinking how you were misled by bad teachers to ignoble, purposeless paths wherein you endured ecstatic practices such as leaping on a trident, sitting close to 5 fires, and the like. Also think how, for the sake of inferior, mundane purposes, you made yourself bear many sufferings in farming, business, and war. So in previous lifetimes, we've been led by bad teachers who have taught us various wrong pathways, and we've endured hardship in order to practice those pathways which were incorrect. So this jumping on the trident, we can see in the tenet systems of the non-Buddhist tradition, there are many different non-Buddhist religions, and their tenets are presented in the Buddhist scriptures. The Buddhists study all of the, as a translator's note, study all the religions. You'll find reference to a lot of ancient Indian traditions because of that fact. So here, this is a school that believed by jumping on a trident, one would be liberated. So if the spear went through the right place, that was it. You were all set. So they would have this faith, and they would endure this suffering by jumping on this thing, and then it would make them have to endure this suffering, and they felt that this would liberate them. And it's saying, you are not going to have anything like that to endure. That isn't going to be the kind of suffering you'll have to have the patience with. So in the past, you've been willing to endure that. Why wouldn't you now, for the sake of something that actually works, be willing to endure some hardship, which is no parallel to that level of suffering?
두비 펜상바네 쇠비 메시 라비 소모 제네 쇠발레 타나 가와 쳔보 제와타르스 제와타르 메이까지 제도게 트라모 덴데 시르코아 타메다 제바도 녀와로 소비 낸도 동에 땡도 네바네 신도 레소 냐도 최도연지 동에니지 제바르 최도연지 동에니지 최지동에 네 보기 동에 이제로 제바남 레바산에 까지라 맨집이 해도 제대 세제 메시 대쇼유 이제 세제 메시 라제대 게도 타나 제말레 레그레스 게도 메이 동에지 녀와테나 제말레 제소스 what what 동에 봐도 막도 해서 봐도 말다 레주나
That's so. So, number 2, reflecting on the benefit of dispelling immeasurable suffering. Reflect well on the difference between short-term and long-term suffering, thinking, a man who is to be executed is overjoyed when he is freed from execution by having merely his finger cut off. How excellent it would be if similarly, by means of this slight suffering of human hardship, I could permanently dispel the suffering of limitless cyclic existence in general, and in particular the suffering of miserable rebirths such as the hells, etc. If you do this, you produce fearless courage with respect to hardship. Engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds says, how is it fortunate if a man who is to be executed is freed from that by having his hand cut off? How is it unfortunate if by human suffering you are released from hell? So here the point being made that Lama Tsongkhapa makes, that if you are freed from an execution but your finger is cut off, that's a small amount of suffering compared to what you could endure. So Shantideva's verse summarizes that point. Tisam, Sumba.
다때네 초리네 고나 막가와네스 고나 하면지 뭐데 가야 요마인스 다 동에 달랑 조발로 소바 초리네 공바시기나 안에 갈레갈레 레라보 차 마차바 요마레스 사마라 초리네 공기나 갈레갈레 레라보 차 용그레스 초리네 고나 막가와네 고나 하면지 뭐든가 요마인스 공바지기나 하면지 뭐데 가 요마르고 근데 자주 생각고기나 돈이 고기나 가로 고기나 너무 갈레카베나 갈레갈레 어디 레라브 차온 그래서
Lesso.
대너바 총공배 너바 쳔모 조바샤스 너바 쳔모 너바 총을 어디 조바 공바이나 너바 쳔벌레 조바 공바 된데 용그레스 너바 쳔모 조바샤스 송바따르 동에 단돌렘비 삼비 고차종네 동에 초리다 세제세네 동에 단돌렘비 또 지제소 조로스 초리네 동에 단랑 조바 공바이나네 동에 단랑 조바 도다 제용 그랬다 단돌렘비 삼비 고차종네 동에 초리네 세제세나 동에 초리네 되는 동에 단랑 조바 공바이나 되는 동에 쳔벌레 동에 단랑 조바 공토바 차는 그랬어 동에 단돌렘비 또 지제소 조로사 러뒤레장사 러뒤 가서 샤지되어 말이야 러뒤레제 들라동에 총을라수본 그것도 따나 가던 신도 가와 라소바 공반루데사 러뒤레장사 들라동에 총을라 공반도 따나 동에 총을라 따나 조바 공반이나 네 가던 신도 가와라 동에 처부터를 당랑 줘봐도 용거레스 공반루데 뻔나 공비용하기 세제 공비용가 세제 단지 동에라 더반도시바 대진도스 공비용하기 세제 단지 되는 동에라 더반도시바 단주의 동에 Ju dunga to sunga so te doan do she do go marbe. Do she ba jin do. Dunga shwa thaje la dunga shwa thaje la. Doan do she ba doan do she ni ora jaba. Gombe de she.
Ni dunye wa ne pa jo ro.
De she ni to ni ora na ba jo ros. Dunga chungo la dunga talang zo ba gomba ina. Dunga chibu to le dunga talang zo ba te ne le la ba cha ngo re so de sa.
So.
Ne do ne ba jo ro she sos.
So. Okay, so C. How is it not difficult to bear suffering if you how it is not difficult to bear suffering if you gradually grow accustomed to it, starting with the small. Engaging in the bodhisattva deed states. How far into it is it, just so I know if he starts reading it? What page is it on? The page number? I remember how many there were. There were 30, so I just
420.
This was
184.
Okay, so that's about 184. So that's about 184. Tearing the lagare Rinpoche. Tearing. Okay.
Yeah.
79. So 14 pages in. Okay. All right. Okay, let me go back to where we were. I'm sorry, I didn't finish. How it is not difficult to bear suffering if you gradually grow accustomed to it, starting with the small. If anyone's wondering, I know there was a quote coming from the stages of meditation. It's embedded in the text. You saw how long it took. She's a great scholar. For her to find that, if it suddenly starts being read and I need to find it, it's just that I just wanted to be a little bit more prepared because it's not as quick and easy as it seems to be able to just on the fly pull Kamala Shila out and just do it. So how it is not difficult to bear suffering if you gradually grow accustomed to it, starting with the small. Engaging in the bodhisattva deeds states, there is nothing whatsoever that does not become easier through habituation. So by becoming used to the small harms, you will bear great harms as well. So no matter what it is, even if we're looking at topics such as emptiness, if you start with a very small piece of it, and then you familiarize yourself with that, and then increase it more and more and more, nothing becomes more difficult through familiarizing yourself with it. It only becomes more clear. It only becomes less difficult. So here, this easier through habituation, they're choosing habituation instead of familiarization or meditation. The word gom is what's in here, and we usually say meditation. So you could say that does not become easier through meditation. So it would be the same word, just a different way to translate it. And then after you have conceived the armor-like thought to accept suffering, you gradually blend it with suffering, starting with small sufferings. But when you do this, you steadily increase your capacity to accept sufferings. The Compendium of Training says, so here we have a quote from Master Shantideva's one of his other texts, Compendium of Trainings, and it states, once you have first grown used to small sufferings, you will become accustomed to the difficult and the very difficult. For example, just as all living beings have the idea that suffering is happiness through the power of conditioning, so you maintain the idea of joy whenever you experience suffering, becoming used to applying the idea of joy to these experiences. So through familiarization, because everyone normally familiarizes themselves with the idea that suffering is in some way happiness, and convince themselves of that. So in the same way that one can be convinced of this incorrect idea, one can be convinced of a correct idea if one familiarizes him or herself with it over and over again. So this is the point that's being made here.
Ji gune jeba shibas 지고는 제바 제바 들에도 등에 단란 주저바 제바라 송 등에 단도 래비 래고비 주센당 대제비 타당 지고는 제바 제바스
Less so.
송고는 송바들에도
This sumba. Less so.
송바 지고는 제바 제바네 등에 단도 래고나스 등에 단도 래고나 전자와 전자와래 송유 등에 단도 라나 달라 제레스 다사지 제디용도와 제르무지 달라 제레 내라 템바스 내라 템베
Nge sampa ngatsu the kashe loma son Rinpoche. Rinpoche,
what
the
is
Chiran,
that?
did that on the Jipja Nishu,
제니슈르바
the Sheso ngele. Jipja Nishu, Tuka, Sheso, the Lapdu Longsar, then a
셰소
대다원. Thank you.
대다원
Tuche,
대다원 자슈지슈바 레스 자슈지슈바는 간주이지
Lesso,
자슈지슈바 레 신빈다마 답이 생당 저와샤우스 신빈다바 답이 신급이 신빈다마 답이 네생 아까서 그래 생당 저와샤우 그래
Lesso,
셰당스
Lesso,
너무 거발래장 보면 최지 뭐 다지 용이셔를 토바가이 생제바샤우스 보면 최지 다 상제게 보면 지로 송바이지로와 보면 최지 뭐 다지 용이셔를 토바가이 생제바샤우스 녀모도 보면 제도는 토바가이 생제고를 장주고 생당 단단 생제당 고조 생제는 상당 고송이지래 가이 생제바샤우 셰송바다르 생신도 단주는 해도 거제스 생신도 때문에 용하라 해도 쳐보고 그랬어 네 로이도 쳐보고 그랬어 해도 거제스 생소매 몽어스 네 생초중 단들어도 용어 말했어 소매 몽어 대나 담번에 해도 맞춰와 제나 등에 전부야 조선도 돼서 담번에 해도 제바이나 ane dunga chenpo tuzo ya ane nganyu sambachi sanje ya zhu sun zhugu res tena tambu ne hendu ma chungwa je na dunga chenpo ya zhu sun zhu de dunga chenpo tuzo wo tuzo zhu sun zhu yungu res zhu sun zhu de pe na bawu ngaji yudo shuba na rāngi chāwu tōnā tē nhidu jēbi juisheba xīndos nā bōngā jī yudu shūba mādu shūba tē tsē yudu shūba nā rāngi chā tōngsū nā nhidu tēlē kō lōku xīndo yā kērēs nhidu jī juisheba xīndo tāmbu nē dētābi tāmbu 네 대답을 맞추신 퇴장 네 된다와 영어 전랑 줘봐라서 좀 맞추신 그때 퇴장 내 된다 용어 말해서는 산수 차네 된다와 뭐선에 랑체도 세나네 영어 중의장 네 라레 두비 지한도 줘대서 영어 중의장 용어 있나요 라냐는 제라도 나 냐소나 봐 도는 그랬어. 내가 도와 차는 저때 버나 가만가지 이제 차 통나와 보내 제로와스 가만가지 이제 차 통와 있나 네 생젠데 근데 요로 인데 라라 다게 차 통나 가장가지 가자라라 가장가지 rāngi chā tōna pātēn lāpar jēchū yōs kāshī rāngi chā tōba inā tērē kō lōku chēn rōshā kērēs pātēn lāpar jēchū yō lāla jēnchī chā tōngyā pōjī jēwā njōwa yōs lāla jēnchī chā tōna sēnshū chā nē wā tēne sēnshū mā chā nē tēne yōwa rēs tēne sēnchī ngā tēn tāng ngāmi tsūli chōba yīn 셰송바다르스 dengan chungno wade dalang zoba de abujin len tanga tanga zoba de abu yomba ina donga Chenmo ya tanga la ba de yongres sheson ba taro sa
Okay, so as to how this comes about, so again, we're on 176 in the middle. As to how this comes about, the questions of the householder, Ugra Sutra states, so this is a text from the Kangjur, free yourself from a mind that is like a piece of cotton, unstable. And the array of Stalk Sutra says, daughter, in order to destroy all afflictions, you should develop a mind that is hard to defeat. Thus you need courage that is very firm and stable. You will not be able to accept suffering with a fragile mind. If you initially develop a significant degree of courage, even great suffering becomes helpful. It is just like the case of warriors entering into a battle. So one here is familiarizing oneself with the various types of bodhicitta. There's the conventional bodhicitta and then the ultimate bodhicitta. So one is beginning, though, with the first stages. Everything becomes easier with familiarization. So the smaller things give way to understanding easily the bigger things. So it says, it is just like the case of warriors entering into a battle and using the sight of their own blood to increase their boldness. If right from the start you belittle yourself, saying, I have never heard of such a thing, and even if I had heard of it, I could never do something like that, then even a small suffering becomes a cause for you to turn back from the path. It is just like the case of the cowards who see others' blood and fainting fall unconscious. Engaging in the Bodhisattva deed says, some seeing their own blood become more intrepid, some seeing others' blood fall unconscious. So here it's becoming accustomed to suffering and gradually growing able to deal with it. Some seeing their own, and we see a quote from Shantideva's engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds. It says, some seeing their own blood become more intrepid. Some seeing others' blood fall unconscious. This comes from the mind's fortitude or from its timidity. So here one needs to familiarize yourself with this over and over again so that one turns what would normally be negative into something that is wanted or encouraged in terms of suffering. So that concludes that section, and now we move on to 3. And Rinpoche actually started that before, so when we look at the varying outline real quick. Just give me one moment, sorry. So the reason for the method, and then number 3, I just wanted to find the exact point, but there's so many outlines in here, I'm sorry. So the reasons, the method, okay, the reason you must definitely accept suffering, the method to acceptance, and a detailed explanation from the viewpoint of the basis. So these are the 3 major headings and that we were under. We were previously under the method, the definite way to develop acceptance, and then now we've moved on to a detailed explanation from the viewpoint of the basis, which is number 3. Digsung Rinpoche. Less so.
Chugu dang sunyu dang, chugu dang sunyu dang, ne mechi dang, ten dang, na yu shume dang yu ji tada ne, changshu pi nen soos. Ta chugu sinan dang nga tsuk dang lo, dolu dang tu sumaribe, chugu dang, sunyu dang, ta sunyu. Ane nga ma gulung sunyu pe go ro ta, sunyu dang, mecha dang, ten dang, mecha sinan dolu tu su yin ro, ten sinan nga su nyesa ka ten tu su la go. Na yu sume jim hen, marisan. Sume dang, yu ji tada ne, changpa shio pa pe, lujong ya pe ya ke ne, pe ne res, pe ne soos. Tana nga ba dans, tana nga ba dang yuwa nye ba dang, paribi ma gu ba dang, yuwa rindu jang na, shimba la ma ga ba dans. Ta nga de, chugu dang, sunyu dang, mecha dang, meten la suwa tu su nga yabu chungna ga ba je, yabu ma chungna tana ma ga yungu res. Tana nga ba dang, yuwa nye ba dang, paribi magu ba dans, paribi jimba dang ba ina, magu ba je ba ina, magu ba dang, yuwa rindu jang na shimba. Ane jimba dang la, yubu ma dang ba je, gu chuna wa jimba ina, jina shimba la maga wa dans. Yi cheba mejin, tada le shung yu, dunga ka tang tu lembi zoba gungu res, dunga tang tu lemba os. What jig nang tang ting sar.
Okay. So now again, we're in category number 3, among first the reason you must definitely accept suffering, the way to develop acceptance, and then a detailed explanation from the viewpoint of the basis. And it begins with a question: given that one must accept the suffering that occurs from where do these sufferings come, and how does one accept them? Reply: there are 8 bases for accepting suffering. 1. Accepting of suffering that is based on objects, robes, alms, bedding, seat, medicine, necessities are objects that enhance pure conduct. So those things which allow for a monk or a nun to engage in his or her lifestyle, those necessities. It says, so anything that's related to those objects, which are few that one can have. So suffering that could occur. Without displeasure and disappointment, you accept the suffering that arises when these are given to you and you find them to be inferior or too few, or when they are given with disrespect or after a long delay. So if it's taken a long time for someone to be generous with them, they said they would do this and it's going a long time. All of these would fall under the category of accepting that suffering, the patience which accepts the suffering based on objects. Diso.
Ta nyeba jine bi chula tembas. Nyeba jine bi chula temba ne. Manye bata, pen bata, dung hewa ta. Jiba se bata, gawa, nawa. Chi chujin nam. Jiba le chewa tu gune, jiden ji chuyin, jiden chuji su watan, jiden chuyi gore lo go, jiden chuyi go.
Lessa.
Jiden chuyi go tu shuosan, jiden chuyi la tenba ne, manye ba dans, ane nga su watan lomara jaba yin, ne, te manye, lomara manye ba yin na, manye ba tangba chi, menye ba dans, menye ba su ta nga su, 가서 그래 네 계산 해보 매봐 계산 만 해봐다 전에 해봐다 제가 전에 매라다 해봐다 동 해봐도 동해지 아니 집어세봐 가와 나와 치 취재나네 집안에 쳐와도 고네 jiden chuyin la, jiden chu gudu watende gudu resada. Jiden chula tenba, Gune, Manyabata, Niji, Pabata Sonji, Dungawat Jiji, Jibasebata Naji, Gawatan True, Nada Dun Chua J. And she Chujana, Jibal Chua the good and Jidem go to what the rest.
Okay, so that was number one. Number two, accepting the suffering that is based on worldly concerns. So here it's not 8, we have a way of 9, or a division by way of 9 in this case. So the 9 worldly concerns are loss, disgrace, blame, pain or suffering, disintegration, extinguishment, aging, sickness, and the death of what is subject to death subsequent to its decay. After you have analyzed the sufferings based on all of each of these, you accept the suffering. Disa? Losar?
That the Taji Dunga go the Taji Dan, Dunga go the Taji Dan, Dunga go la, Tembe, Dunga Nala, Susutane, Tanto Dunga Dalang Zoba Gungures, Tanto Lamba was. What about what Niba the Marbe, Niba? Jigno, Niba J.
Lesser.
That's somebody should long let them, somebody do.
Shulan la denba. Chapadan.
Jidem Chula them, Jidem Chu good go.
Lesser. The lapsar.
Lotar.
Jiten chu go lapsar.
What that is that should long let them, but the raw.
Lesser.
Shulon the somebody marbe.
Lesser.
Shulon la temba ne. Chabadan, Drewadan, Chabas and draw low draw. Drewas in the Alamba.
Ale.
Duba,
Okay.
Duba Nyewa. Shulon Jesura, Shulon Jendruchanian do. Ne Shulon draw, and Alamba, Duba, Nyewa to Shulon Je. Shulon Jilla. Ti tambutan sombe ne dribana le ni sento saint joana télévision de tant de linge tu m'as mis chang chu za dian wang lo ma di dian wa la lo po ba me je ba wo sa. That's the Shulon the temper ne Chaba dancer, Chabas in the
Draw.
Ya Lamba,
Lam.
Duba,
Do.
Nyawa, Jete, Luchanian do just at the door.
Lesser.
Shulon Jin las Ti Tambutan, Somba ne Tambute, ne Chabas at the Marbe, Chabat je, Tambutan, Somba de Chabatan, Diwan, Duba the Marbe, Duba. Somba do at the roa.
Sumba this Selpo Yomare NGK Sumba. So they draw along this Selpo.
Tambuto Chabaje.
In it send on Nima.
Tambutan, Somba Chabatan, Diwatan, Duba the Marbe, Duba.
Lesser.
Ne
Nikir.
Duatan, Duba need Marbe, Duba.
Lesser.
Tambu Duatan, Somba, and then Duba the Ro. Somba Duba.
The Khensur de Tambo.
Tambu Duatan, Somba Duba, Dubi, Dibanan, Dibanan le Nisento, Saint Joana, Télévision de tant de l'Ingesa. Tatambu Duatan, Somba Duba Marbe. Duatan Duba Latin, Dunga Yungurota. Dunga Yundi Dunga Talang Soba Jigures, Dunga Tanto Langes. Tu m'as be Chang Chu. Tu m'as baras, tu m'as ba Chang Chus. Chesana, ne desa Chiwati, Chus and Chichua. Chu, Zatinwa. And then Zatin, Jagalova to Zatin de Rosa. Zatinwa, Lomatinwa, and the Shing Lomat Dentine. Tinwa la Le Papa, Majeba was 르폰 대지요마레스 마제바우스
The Seng Da. This Samayoma, the Sobayoma,
슐론 템바데
the Tambodan Sumba Sem Dagdu. The Gare, the Chorten,
담부
Gomja,
담부 도와들어 담부 도와지
Lessa,
손바데 누바데 말면 누바
Diba. Then
도와던 누바라된 동에 용거로다
the Deepa Namle Nyon.
제바나레 예센도
The Deepa Da Dandra.
제바나레 예센도 생중하나 텔레존이 동에
Ken
당도랑보고
Sabudu.
제바나레 생중하나다 가데 동에 용거로 동에 용들 동에 당len 제고를 송대서
Okay. Number 3. Accepting of suffering that is based on physical activities. The 4 physical activities are moving around, standing, sitting, and lying. When all day and night you purify, then Rinpoche, the Nipa Dang Jipa Gare.
다 담부 들어와
Tambo Dan Sumba de Nipa Dan Jipa the Jawa Gare. This Sopa Yoma.
제그나네 담부데 내라 템바 들어와 네바 제템 비출라 템바 제 네바 제템 비출라 템바 손바 쉐론라 템바
The
제
Shulan de Jie.
Sumba
The Tambo
Shulan
Dan
Dava.
Sumba.
손바데 쉐론라 템바 들어와
Yene the Nipa Dan Jipa Gare. Dugnyal Yonga Marbe. Nipa Dan Jipa.
네바 들어와
Janwa Dang
제템 비출라 템바로
Nyewa.
제템 비출라 템바 초고자소마 안텔레 동에 용거 동에 당len
Kanga.
조바 제고레스
Okay. They just I'm having trouble. Maybe others will find it clear. Number 3 in my mind, just the words just don't make enough sense to put it together. So maybe they do, and I'm just sitting here in front of a camera, and it's not. But accepting of suffering that is based on physical activities. The 4 physical activities are moving around, standing, sitting, and lying down. When all day and all night you purify your mind of obstructions by means of the first, moving around, and the third, sitting, of these 4, you are accepting the sufferings that arise from them. However, do not relax on a couch, chair, or bed of straw or leaves when it is time to do so. So I asked Rinpoche if it was maybe meditating, sitting, and maybe circumambulating a stupa would purify your mind and also could cause suffering. I'm not sure, but if we move on, we move on. I'm not clear. Then Rinpoche, the Tambo Dang Sumba, the Dugnyal Yongdu, Yene the Nipa Dang Jipa Gari Yongdu, the Je Yure, Chapa Dan Janwa Dan Dupa Dan Nyewa.
쉐론지서 들어와
Then Janwa Dan Nyewa,
로아
Dugnyal Yongdu.
로아 람바 두바 녀와 제들어와 제들어 지금은 담부 조스나 로아 말베 손바데 되네 누바들어
Less so.
로아던 두발 등에 용손나 등에 달래 제고르스 말베
The Deepa Namle Nyunsen Du Sem Jon. This Sem Da. The NGK, the Deepa Da Sem Da.
담부던 손베 제반나레 녀지데 시리드네 이제로다
Okay.
시리나레 녀센도 생종화 녀지봉비 타다 네 시리봉비 타 로정시야로 생종화나 텔레종이 동에 송소나 동에 당는 조바 공고레스 동에 단도란지 뒤마임비 단도하는 하루 종주다 시주 종주서 어디 안는다 잡아들어 어떤 마무시야로 뜻이 되다
Less. Then Droa Deepa. Okay. So maybe a little more clarity. The 4 acceptance of suffering that is based on physical activities. The 4 physical activities are moving around, standing, sitting, and lying down. Then Garshani the Nipa Danjipa Nitsen. The
차바던 정화던 도바던
The Garshane De Nipa Dang Jipe Jipa Nam. Garshane Yomare.
녀와던 쉐랑제들에도와 쉐랑제는 담부터 로아드 말베
Yeah. De Tambo.
som바데 도바드로 로아던 도발레 등에 쇼수나 등에 단래 그세지 부샷 젠다 류데 인지로다 what son데다.
So Rinpoche is saying that when we see this word, purify your mind of obstructions. So if one is standing, it just doesn't make any sense to me. The first is one is moving around, and the third one is sitting. So if one is moving around or sitting and purifying obstructions, so Rinpoche said maybe obstructions could refer to the afflictive obstructions, the Nuji and Shiji, and the obstructions to omniscience. So when one is moving or sitting, engaging in purification, suffering can arise. So this is what this is referring to. So I asked Rinpoche, well, what's wrong with 2 and 4, and can't you practice lying? I just don't understand it. I think we're going to leave it there. The Nipa Dang Jipa.
Nipa Dang Jipa.
The Ngetriwa the De Tambo. Garshane De Nipa Dang Jipe Jipa Namle Nyonsin Du Sem Jong. Garshane Nipa Dang Jipa Yom.
Tambo the song the Roa.
Tambo Droa.
Roa the Somba Doba Droa.
The Dupa. Then Garshane the Semda.
Dunga Shonsuna. Dunga Danle Gure says the President Injiro.
So Lama Tsongkhapa is saying, as other books say, that when suffering arises, we need to have the patience which endures this suffering when it arises in relation to these activities. So let's table it. The Nipa Dang Jipa the Jawa, the Jiyere, Tambo Droa, then Nipa, then Garshane the
Dimba,
the Dimba, the Sem, the Jipa Nam Le Nyonsin du Semjong, the Nipa Yomare,
Jipa Nale, Nicentus, Nudi, the Shidi Nale, Nicentus Sanjuans, and then Nudi Pombichit, Shidi Pombichit, San Lujan Jegrota.
So the mind is studying the ways in order to abandon the afflictive obstructions and the obstructions to omniscience.
Sanjuana. And what the Saint do what the Lieutenant Saint Dunga Shonsona, Dunga Talan Jobagungu.
Purifying the mind, and to purify the mind, one needs to have the patience of enduring suffering.
That 2 million bar Chong, 200 Jonju, the Shidu, another Tabatulo and Duala, 100 Jonju, the Shidu Jonju, the Machu Mombasua, the thing is that. 2 million bar Chong, 2 Zadinwa, Loma Dinwa La, Le Pobre, Majeba Wosa, Zadon Lomi, Dento, Le Pot Niju Mari Mataba Gungu, something said. Le Pobre Majeba Wosa.
So it says, in sitting of these 4, you are accepting suffering that arise from them. However, you do not relax on a couch, chair, or a bed of leaves when it is not time to do so, because of impermanence. So it's saying not just to sit around when it's not time to do so. Engage in these practices, but recognize impermanence. Nene, Jipa?
Ta chu yunsun zeba la tenba jipa diro. Chu yunsun zeba la tenba ne. Chu yunsun zeba la tenba ne. Kanchu sun la chu jin. Ane rendu sheba dansa. Nga su tenba la me sanje rinpoche, chuba la me tangshu rinpoche. Tenba la me gani rinpoche. Chane kanchu sun la chuba mbes. Otu su redu mdwe. Kanchu sun la chu jin. Rendu sheba dansa. Lama la chu jin rendu sheba. Ne chu na zunwa. Chuno Zuma dance, and the Pesha to Lolo Zia, and the Pesha Lojan Jene, Chitan to Lolo Zingro. Chuno Zuma dance, Chidon Lola Zuma, Zuma dance, Zuma Nam, Jela Jachitan Bas, Pesha to Lojan Jene, Sosu Shebaje, 那写啥说呢？那人了写呀个对错来说呢，那人了写过的是，去吧，人把写呀个对错说呢，那人了去吧写过的是。
Less so?
容啊呢，人了家去对吧？当时上对看得多，小娃当时上对的看得多小娃当时上有对吧？
Dale.
上有个对吧的看得些故事，看得小娃当，这不一般真的难的，
Da Chenmo.
让大把三把当时上有对吧？
Selpo dang Chenmo.
啊。
Da Chenmo dang Selpo.
我的意思是，上对的，看能小学堂是，那个是不来嘛的呗，看能小学堂，这不一般多的是，说是这不，那一般的呢，那的，让大把三把当时，那想就三公里呢，俺就个三把公里呢，那让大把三过来是，三把当，那就一了些呗。 那就一了些比新比现在公吧这是，那就一了些比现在公吧，现在的拉动，现在的没把刚中接到了，人家给了家伙啥事，我的现在
The
那
London.
拉动工我是拉动，现在嘛的呗，
The
现在
The Longare. London.
啊，
Chiran the Long.
个吧，
Tanda. Chiran Long dang so.
那就一了些吧新比
Chiran.
现在公吧的。
Shanchi London lo.
所以这么，没把刚中接到了，人家给了下巴是。现在工队刚才是公过的是呢，没把刚中接到了，人家给了下巴啥是。现在公给人呢，他的公没那公给人呢的，那上级里面的公给人呢的，那没把个人里面的我些有嘛了，现在的里面呢，现在中国了，没把刚中接到了，人家给了下巴啥是。
Less so.
那我的公过的是。 他没把自己的形象七八斤审美观呢，让有了慢慢他就被点干这来说呢，现在图嘛的呗。现在这个呢，那个啥，形象七八斤审美观呢，说是就被写到的拉动，我等着人送了。
Okay, so number 4, accepting suffering based on holding the teaching. The teaching is upheld in the 7 ways. The Ewa Dun Rinpoche, the Gongel Mepechi, Tambo Nipa Sumba
Ewa Dun Tambo
Na
Taro,
Yomare,
Tambo.
the Jipangapa Dru the Yere, Yene, Tambo Nipa Sumba Nge
你把等级点比去过啥的咯？松把学浪的点把的，松把学浪的点把去，也把去用松点把了点把去，真的。
Yongsu Zimba, Gonchu Sumla, the Tambo Nipa Dang Sumbagu, the Chiran, the Detsi Lason, the Nenge Chimasong and Jason Gongel Mepechik, the Gonchu Sum, the Chu Yongsu Zinba La, Denba Net,
去用松点把了点把呢，
Gonchu Sum,
去用松点把，光就松了确认啥？
the Tambo,
他去用松点把了点把啥的。 那个说点把他们上街人们去，就把他们当街人们去，点把他们跟那人们，将来跟就送了去把没事都是人多的。
okay, offering prayer. Less
那
so.
就送了确诊，人都写把当时，他拉嘛了确诊，人都写把是，确把的人都是那个就把两个这样子算进去的，
Less so.
拉面两个这样，光就个两个这样，我都算进去了。
The Ne Sumba,
送把去那送完当，去那送完。 那感觉呢，就是落了，吃顿落了这样
okay, Tuchena.
呀，去那送完当，
The Kanga, the Trison.
个来就个来。
Jipangapa Drupa Dumba Yure. Okay.
他送完呢，人了家吃顿吧，说是感觉呢就落了做下，落上些下吧的，
Less so.
那个吧有那人了些过的，
Less so. Then you're
家吃顿吧当时，上顿看到的下吧当，上有对吧的呢，
Sadu.
那看的那人呐，上有对吧，看到的下吧当时。 这不也把那的，然后打把三把当时，说是这不也把那的，然后打把三把当时，东宁公啊，上就三公啊，都算一些了的。
Less so. Then Dumba the Kanga
那就
Yure.
一了些呗，先呗，现 shela gomba te chunje ba dun no chunje ba dun teresa da
Okay.
chunje ba dun do dun.
Tuche. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 4, accepting the suffering that is based on upholding the teachings. The teaching is upheld in 7 ways. Number 1, worshiping and serving the 3 jewels. So we have the prayer that we do where we offer to the Buddha, we offer to the Dharma, we offer to the Sangha before we eat, the Dhammalame Sanjay Rinpoche, Dhammalame Gendun Rinpoche. Anyway, so we make this prayer as an offering to the 3 jewels of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha before we eat. So this is an example of worshiping and serving the 3 jewels. So doing the prayer, Dembalame Sanjay Rinpoche, Jupalame Danchu Rinpoche, Dembalame Gendun Rinpoche, Jane Gonchu Son La Chupa Bul. Making this as an offering of your food is an example of how we worship the 3 jewels. Worshipping and serving the Guru, making offerings, and also working for the Guru, working for the 3 jewels. But here specifically it's for the Guru or the teacher, so working in aid of and helping the teacher. Number 3, understanding the teachings, studying the Khensur and the Tenzin, and becoming familiar with the meanings of these texts. Teaching extensively to others what you have understood is once you understand the meaning of the teaching, what you understand, you should teach someone if they wish to learn it. So if you understand something, you should teach it to someone. And just as a translator's note, it means you clearly understand something. I see a lot of Westerners giving little teachings, and they don't clearly understand the subject, and it's very poisonous to the Dharma in the West. We need to really have a pure source of our teachings, and when there's any kind of distraction or any subtle wrong point made that's injected into the pure Dharma, it begins to corrupt it. And then we have what Lama Tsongkhapa said happened in Tibet, where we have gold that's mixed with dirt. And then we have to try and go back and find the gold. So it's really important as practitioners, this is my feeling, this is my little soliloquy for the day, that we only speak of the things we really do know about, and don't speak of things just to sound like we do know of something. So it's just a problem in the West I see really corrupting the Dharma, and I see things being mixed in, and I see unqualified people giving advice, and it is really very dangerous. So there are these 4, so this is number 4, teaching others. And this isn't after a training course over a weekend. This is Rinpoche's Geshe degree. He started when he was 8, and he was born in the 30s. And he got his Geshe degree in 77. So that's the kind of studying, that's the kind of authentic information that we should look for. Reciting its praises in a loud, clear voice. So when you're doing prayers, chant them beautifully in a clear way. It's saying doing prayers, or Rinpoche said reciting mantras. Number 6, correctly reflecting on it in solitude. So all of the things that you're reciting, all of these things that you've studied, emptiness, bodhicitta, the mind that aspires to enlightenment, renunciation, all of these things, find a solitude place and reflect on these. So this is number 6, place of solitude and reflect on these. And then number 7, cultivating meditative serenity and insight that is imbued with yogic attention. So here this is speaking of calm abiding, this union of calm abiding and special insight. So this cultivating meditative serenity and insight that is imbued with yogic intention means this clear single-pointed concentration, which then gives rise to calm abiding and special insight, this wisdom which is singly focused on. And then when we look to Atisha's lamp for the path to enlightenment, it says, so when you want to develop any kind of concentration, you really can focus on anything, but advice in the lamp is to focus on a virtuous object. I wish I could find to focus on any one virtuous object. So picking something specific, and then thus maintaining well the condition mentioned in the collection of meditative stabilization chapter, place the mind on any one virtuous focal object. So this is what Atisha is referring to, focusing the mind on a focal object. Here the goal, when we say special insight, is the focal object of wisdom. So achieving this calm abiding that then has a special insight, which is calm abiding, which is focused on wisdom. Diksang Rinpoche.
다 르면 초월라 템바스 나바렌도 르면 초월라 템바 제는 나바 제는 나바도 르면 초월라 템바네 자나 카브 드발라 소베 좀도 바냐솔나 바다스 당아서 잡아다 안주 짜짜도 그걸로 피지 좀도 바네 얘도 모아서도 차오면도 르면 초월라 템바네 자나 카브 드바 샤오스 잡아다 안주 짜도 카브 드고레스 짜도 카브 드바 샤오스 사지 송으로 짜도 카브 드바 샤오스
Lesso.
드발라 소페 좀도 바스
Khensur.
좀도 바냐슬래 고레스 연다 볼 많이 봐서 그래 봐
Garshene de. Susedu.
짜도 카브
Tomani.
짜도 카브 드바도 그걸로 전단지대는 고모도 봐서 작으면도
Me kashe samba de zepo.
짜도 그걸로 짜자 어들 홍다 쇼트 지제바이나
Kira Chenmo Mambo.
저거지로다
Okay. I'm
짜도
being-
카브 드바이나 도모도 봐차는 거지로다 짜도 카브 드발라 소베 좀도 바냐슬래 바스 모두 바 냐렌제 고르스 안다
Lesso.
잡아주
Lesso.
그 제바다스 당아주 돌로드 뭐 제는 때우도데 어도 갈로 잡아도 비체도 인사로 그 제바다 카두게바 냐솔람바다스 카두게바 냐솔람바다 지데베 슈엘란 탄질레 다네 네베 최진 샤와당 신라소바 본데 신라 템베 신레 년바 최유사 신레라소바 먹어진 소뇽하나 당 소뇽하나 다 잡아다 안에 소뇽하나 공모 잡아다 날래장 차차버다 날래장 잡아 동사 뭐 레온도 안에 종선을 소뇽하나 칼라 자요 말보다 안 와데 잡아게 또 손던도 타성수 칼라주데 그 나라다 주선의 어디 소유 공모제 레자르다 또 소송된사데 그 집에서 카두 내가 냐솔람바 다스 다 돌로도 뭐 짜는도 내가 소야 지만도 냐솔람바 다 제대로 쇼론 타질 다네 네베 최진 샤와다 신라 소바 본데
Kalkapu.
신레 마지바진 수수 소뇽하나 네베 지시 추바도 사 소뇽하는 초와데 나란자 두수는 와데 소뇽하나 초마도 와데 잡아주 그 타창도는 주는 칼라주도 눈 차자로 잡아 동자 뭐를 하느라고 말와 지시 추바도 옌레 추구라 소바 초와다자 추구라 하던 소고지로 맞아마 쇼바 본베 마시 바도 메일 되바나레 도바샤와다스 맞아마 쇼바 도 뭐마 예자 다 잡아다 안초도 본고로다
Lesso.
다드네 쳔바이나 녜네도 줄로 또 본고서 외들어다
Lesso. Nyene yere.
쳔발레드네 수수 추가 마이나 젠달레 녀바 요고도다
Yere. Lesso.
뭐베 마시 바도 메일도 바나레 도바샤와나스
Lesso.
마잠바 쉐베 마시 바도 메일도 바나레 도바샤와나스
Lesso.
가다 예게서 본베 자우다 히 도바다스 na ka dan ye dan dan je ba na na zhuo bu zu ga bu yong wo ji da za wu dan xian du ba dan chu zhuo la su bu chu zhuo la su bu zhuo bu chun chun dan su bu lo chun wa chu zhuo la su ba chu zhuo la su ba dan gang gu xie ba pong bi sher ma xie ba do mei ga zile du ba de lo me zu ba dan dun no sa wa tel dun do dun
Okay, so
lo me zu ba de la dun
less so. So number 5, there are 7 different categories which we'll see. 7 aspects of living as a beggar. So acceptance of suffering that is based on living as a beggar. So we find some of the advices given by Buddha and advices that are in here based on the monastic discipline. So Rinpoche went through each of them. You experience having an ugly appearance due to shaving off your hair, beard, and so forth. I was joking with Rinpoche, and I said, well, that's got to be situational because there's many famous movie stars now that shave their heads and so forth. And he said, but at this time, worldly standards, shaving off all of your head and all of your facial hair would make you appear to not be beautiful. That's what I was joking with him about. I was saying, I'm ugly. Basically, I was joking. So it's saying that by worldly standards, that when you shave your head and you shave, that you don't appear to have the marks of beauty and by way of the normal world. You experience wearing cloth that is patched together and is of poor color. So wearing whatever you can have. Because you don't have a living, so you can only wear what you have. And later on it goes on to say things that have been given to you and so forth. You live by restraining yourself from conduct of worldly persons and act in a way other than they do. You give up farm work, etc., and then live by getting material goods from others, so you live in dependence upon others. We saw this actually change in the Nalanda times because there were thousands of monks. It wasn't really realistic for thousands of monks every day to go out and beg and so forth. So they established kitchens and farming and so forth in the monastery. And today you see this carried on to now, so that they could have food and so forth. So this is situational, as everything. Since you do not accumulate or employ material gain, you seek things such as robes, etc., from others for as long as you live. Since you give up sexual intercourse, you turn away from human desires until you die. So we find this in the monastic tradition of abstinence complete. We also find it in the 1 day, the 24-hour vow that a layperson can take, where we find abandonment of sexual activity. But in the layperson's or householder's view, giving up adultery would be considered in the same line as giving up sexual activity for the ordained. So a layperson would give up adultery, give up others' partners. So that's that. Since you give up sexual intercourse, you turn away from human desires until you die. And 7, since you give up dancing, laughter, and the like, you turn away from human merriment until you die in order to give up friends, intimate companions, childhood friends, and the like, as well as pleasures and enjoyments. You accept the suffering that comes about based on these. And this is speaking to the life of asceticism, just as a translator's note. This isn't speaking to the general community to give up everything. It's speaking to those who are have gone forth, wish to emerge. So in Thailand and Burma, we still see this, the alms and so forth, going out for the daily needs. Rinpoche, nga chewa yure. Then the ewa dun yure. Then nipa. Then shantup dan yapo yomare. The lapcha dan gelwa. The lapcha kashe. The kamba shilo la drona. Shantap shere yapo. Gangen sena me jenda dana. Then tepa yon. Then they got it. They don't
So
go.
what the Tulu to Yabukon Gores,
They hear it.
Tulu Yabumagon Matelu Chigro.
Then got it. Shene. They don't go.
And
Tuba, Java. Gelong Namsa had to be carried. That means
I see. So it's. But it says and is of poor color. It-
four color. Before that, they have cut Java.
Right, but my question is in the Vinaya it says that your shantap should be beautiful and pressed when you go out so that others will see it and faith will emerge.
So you wear, even if it's carried, but you have to wear clean and
Okay. No, I understand it. It just seems gelwa with the truth. It seems mutually exclusive.
In Indian, those colors is the worst bad colors.
I see.
Black and white is the famous color.
Right. Black is Muslim, white is for the Brahmin,
Those, yeah,
and Buddhists can wear yellow, blue, and red.
yeah.
But it didn't say bad color.
Not bad color.
It says in the text bad color. Anyway, I just find we're supposed to cut it, the gold.
Cut it.
Okay, Jason. Gangesine de shantap yapo. Then the nipa the shantap the kadok yapi omare. Kadak ducha.
Kadu that trash I do
Then garishine the kadok yapi omare.
or the trash I do come on Manzebas on the Reno Wizard.
So Rinpoche is saying it's patched together, but what's the color?
In ancient, in
It's red and is not considered a good color. Okay, so culturally,
lemon don't wear those things.
I see. So culturally at that time in India, these colors were not considered good color. Okay, so it's not saying like wear a bad red. It's saying red in general isn't good. Okay, I see. I thought it meant like faded. You know what I mean? Like faded and dirty, almost. The English reads like it's worn out in old, dirty robes. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes the English, you know. Okay. Tuchena, selposha.
That the Tando Lampa was. Tango about Trampe Tubala Tambas.
Zindu.
Takazarian Tubari
Tupa.
Tubarova.
Lesso.
Ngaba Trampe Tubala Tamba Nes. Gishula Tambala. Le dans Saint Tubadan. Chuba Nayu, Gile, Shonyu. Dongan Tanto Lamba Wosa. Gishula. Ngaba Trampe Tubala Tamba Nes, Tubala Tamba Nes. Gishula Tamba Gawashi du, Pachata Gonja du Le, and the Le dans Saint Gangan Woro. Gishula Tamba le dans Saint Tuba danse, le dans Saint Madiba Yungoro, Tuba dans, Chuba danse, qui Matuba dans Yungoro, Chuba dans, Ngay Gele Shonyu, Gangan Gele Shonyu, Gangan la Tene, Gangan le Shonyu, Dongan entendre la Baos, Gangan Shonsona, Dongan dans la Zoba Gongores, dans de l'Embaos.
Lesso. So now number 6, accepting the patience of accepting of suffering that is based on fatigue due to perseverance. So becoming tired from making great effort, accepting that suffering, having the patience that accepts that suffering. You accept the suffering that arises from mental and physical fatigue, hardship, and disturbance while you are persevering at cultivating virtue. So your body and your mind can start to have suffering that because of fatigue and hardship and so forth, but enduring that in order to cultivate virtue. Dison.
다 생전에 돈셔발라 템바네스 돈셔와 주지데스 생전 돈셔와 주지데 가신 가서 나도 라장 루노네 어디 컴퓨터는 신사데 돈셔와 주지도 어디 나도 라장 도와
Lesso.
버저진달에 뭐 보여지데
Lesso.
가서 원전 컴퓨터는 도사데
Lesso. Okay, so accepting the suffering that is based on acting for the welfare of living beings. There are 11 activities for others' welfare. You accept the suffering that occur because of these. And previously we went over these 11, and they can be found in Pabunka Rinpoche's text, Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand. and these 11. You can go back on the tapes, Rinpoche said, and find that there, those 11 types of beings there as well. Then Jepa.
Treatise all of them are marba. Jepa treatise all of them are ne. Longe no chuguji lela soba. Rodo shunwatan. Kanamatoa. Maybe Kanamatoa maybe Shinledan. Tondan. Jabula Shushi Toa. Jabula Shushi Toa la soba. Chimbi Treji Shawate. Tele Shunyu Dungan Lamba Wosa. Treji Shawala Tembane. Tal Honze dan Chugu dan. Chuguji lela soba. Honze Zoya. Honze Nuya. Chugu Samajaya Watende Leka Mabu Yorwa. Leka Lela Soba. Rodo Shunwa dan. Rodo Shunwa Trabata Amsalago Marba. Rodo Shunwa dan. Kanamatoa meba. Kanamatoa Rajiji Kanamatoa the Chibi Kanamatoa New Marba. Kanamatoa said Rajiji Kanamatoa dan Chibi Kanamatoas. Rajiji Kanamatoas and the Pana Sujeva there. Chimba Sujena Dibare, Rajung Sujena Diba Intan, Rajiji Kanamatoa res. That JB Kanamatoa Chinju Balasu. Chimba Shinjuna, the Nebakayo Maro. Rajun to Shinla Subjuna, or the Tuatan Geda, or the things that JB Kanamatoa.
Less so. Okay. Number 8, accepting of suffering that is based on current tasks. You accept suffering that arises from tasks for a renunciate, such as the work associated with the begging bowl, robes, and so forth, or from the tasks for a householder, such as a faultless work on a farm, a business as a government employee, etc. So here there are things that are specific to, there's a natural activities, and then there are the more specific activities. So I'll explain that. If, for instance, killing is something that is naturally, for everyone, considered a misdeed. It is a non-virtuous, a universal activity, if you will, natural or universal. So killing would be something that all householders, everyone, renunciates would refrain from because it's considered a universal misdeed. Then there are those specific misdeeds which are specific to those who hold commitments. So, for instance, a ordained person has the vow not to cut down a tree. The not cutting down a tree is not something that is universal as far as a misdeed. It's something that's specific to the ordained person who holds that, he or she holds that commitment. So these are the general, the specific and universal types of behaviors and abstaining, things to abstain from. And it says, so there are certain things that renunciates have related to suffering and certain things householders have. And here it breaks down the varying points or various categories, such as anything that's associated with the alms bowl or the robes of the monk, the upper robes and so forth of the monk or nun. So those would be more specific to the renunciate, whereas then the householder has their specific duties and so forth. But when in terms of there's universal and specific. Decent, Rinpoche.
Treatise all of them are the Longe dan Chuguji Lela Soba, Rodo Shunwa dan, Kanamato maybe Shinledan, Tondan, Jabula Shushi Toa dance. Jabula Shushi Toa Sadu, Jabugi Lekanam than the Jane and the Toa Jeding and the Mandua. Jabula Shushi Toa dance. Jabugi Lekanam than the Jane and the Koji Sodol Nemer Jingura. Shushi Toa dan, Toa la Sobe. Chimbi Treji Shawate, Chimba took a Treji Shawate, Tele Shonyu, and Dungan Yungura. Dungan Shonson, Dungan Dalang Zoba Gungures, Dungan Dantu Lamba was Tetar je shunyu dunga kaya ruwas, ta je shunyu dunga kaya ruwa, kaya runyu te janga, susu tundu matonshin, ne shanchu la njoba dang, shu ne dubi gesu manjo la, ima gawa meba njogo osa. Wate dunga shunsu na dunga tanglang zoba gune wate se gosung dingsar.
So number 8, we have those related to the ordained renunciate and those related to the householder. Even the king has certain acceptance of suffering based on current tasks, patience that accepts that suffering. And it says householders such as faultless work on a farm in a business, as a government employee working for the leader and so forth. Even if you are stricken with any of the sufferings that arise in dependence on these 8 bases, you do not give up your joyous perseverance at each. You act for the sake of enlightenment, joyfully, not letting such sufferings become an obstacle that causes to turn back once you have set forth. Dixon.
Ta somba chula ngasa jizoba marba.
Lesso.
Dunga tanglang jizoba, chula ngasa jizoba, ta neji la chima nyabu jizoba, jizoba songyo dhruwa. Ta dunga tanglang jizoba chin, ta neji la chima nyabu jizoba chin, ta chula ngasa jizoba tingbare. Chula ngasa ji, chula ngaba senba la mebi, jizoba jeba la, chula ngasa jizobi yud la jeyo wares. Jeyo de, tambi yun chula ngasa jizoba tambi yu shosu na, yun Khensur Rinpoche Lobsang Tenzin, Khensur Rinpoche Lobsang Tenzin chula ngasa jizoba tambi yu res. Khensur Rinpoche Lobsang Tenzin san tang wu jiro da. Khensur Rinpoche Lobsang Tenzin no. Nga du sha yu ne, dama ba ni ji tokona ni dos. Nga du sha yu ne, kanza ga dama chöji dama. Pombo nga ba tada jang raji ji tomba na ba ya da ba ju sta wos. Ne tada jang pombo nga ba tada jang raji ji tomba na ba ya da ba ju sta wos. Pombo nga ba raji ji tomba re. Jang kanza de ma ru ba res. Kanza ga dama chöji dama ni ga den go ji ro da. Pombo nga ba tada jang raji ji tomba na ba ya da ba ju sta wos. Pombo nga de ba ju tomba chöji dama ji. Jang se jang de kanza de ma ru ba. Kanza ga dama ten ma ro.
Chu dame kai?
Chöji dama se kanza ma yin bi chöji de ma ru ba de chöji dama se ro da. Kanza ma yin bi. Kanza dama kanza de ma ru ba de kanza ga dama. Kanza ma yin bi chö de ma ru ba kanza ga dama. Ta ngayi wa de kari o te toba mu yo ta. Ngayi wa de ma ru ba de kanza ga dama yin chöji dama yin. Ngayi wa se na ngayi laba se na ngayi laba ngayi ba. Wata nga chala kari na ngayi chala te ngayi des. Wata se se man ngayi wa, nga to ngayi wa. Ngayi wa dame kanza ka dame yin songsa yu, ma yin songsa yu, teba mungu yu wadala. Laba ngayi yin ba, dema ma rupa, ngayi wa sikaro, ngayi wa dema ma rupa. Laba ngayi yin ba, dema ma rupa. Ngayi wa dema ma rupa. Kanza ka dame yin, chuji dame yin. Kanza ka dame yin, chuji dame yin sana. Kanza ka dame yin songsa yu wadala. Taka tulu teba mungu yu wadala.
Then kansa dame the ngada ngai ngo.
Ngayi wa dema ma rupa, kanza ka dame yin songsa yu wadala.
Ngada ngai wa kansa.
Laba ngayi yin baro.
Lesso.
Laba ngayi yin ba dema ma rupa, ngayi wa dema ma rupa. Eka zan baro, dan yenda mambu jaya ndo.
Okay. So number 3 we move on to. Developing the patience of certitude about the teachings. The patience of certitude about the teachings means generating the forbearance of conviction. It has 8 topics. First, the object of faith. This is the good qualities of the three jewels: body, speech, and mind, enlightened activities. The object to be realized. This is the reality of the two selflessnesses. So here, this is referring to the selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena. So these are the two selflessness that are being spoken of. So when we say I and mine are what we're speaking of when we speak of the selflessness of person. And when we say hold on one second. So we find in the Sutra of the Heart of Transcendent Knowledge, where it says, O Shariputra, a son or daughter of noble family who wishes to practice the profound Paramita should see in this way, seeing the five skandhas to be empty of nature. The Pumbo Ngapo Dita Jang Rang Jinji. The Jang?
펑펑가보 대바 마루고 취지다메로. 장서야 되게 강사 대바 마루고 된 거라서.
So it says, seeing the five aggregates. In the English, there isn't anything for the jung. So in the Tibetan, we find the jung, and it is inferring about the selflessness of person. So the aggregates, pumbongapo, the chu dame,
펑펑가보 취지다메.
then
장
jang,
대바 마루고.
jang kansak dame,
대 장데 강사가 다음에 된 거였어.
jangje.
펑펑가보 더다 장 라지 도마도 펑펑가 대바 마루고
I
마제.
remember this happened
강사
before.
장 대바 마루고레스.
Less so. So here it's inferred that we're referring to the selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena. So when we say person, when we say mine, it would be hand is me. So when we're saying the mine in terms of selflessness of person, if we find that hand is me, this would fall under hand is not me, so this is the selflessness of person. But if we're just saying hand is mine as an aggregate, then that would be phenomena. So if it's as an extension, that is something exclusive of me as an ownership in an ownership way, then it would be phenomena. But if it's saying that hand is me, I am hand, then this falls under selflessness of person. I am truly established. My hand is me, which is truly established. So that would be selflessness of person. Phenomena would be, in the case of this, seeing the aggregates, seeing that those things which are parts. Okay.
예수는 잡아지나 나요 대바 마루 강사가 다음에 나요 강사 많이 송어래.
Kali, 안주스러운
예수는 잡에
pension. Okay.
예수는 잡에 나요와 대바 마루와 강사가 다음에 나요 강사 많이.
So Panchen Sanandrapa says that mine or my attributes, ngaewa. What's a good way to ngaewa? Mine, right?
Mine.
Yeah, it's very misleading though in English. It's very misleading. Using mine sounds like ownership, but in this case, Panchen Sanandrapa says mine is not person though, but is selflessness of person. But mine is not person. The kansak mayin. Panchen Sanandrapa ngaewa kansak mayin.
나요 강사 많이. 나요 다음에 강사가 다음에 나요 대바 주반 제수는 강사가 다니레스. 나요 강사 많이 쓰래. 벌써 가시로 어떤 나요 강사 인수하면.
So other texts don't say this, that mine is selflessness of I and mine. Mine, Panchen Sanandrapa says, is not person, but its selflessness is selflessness of person. So others don't concur with this, but Panchen Sanandrapa asserts this, that this grasping at the I and mine as being truly established is considered grasping at the self of persons. according to Panchen Sonandrapa. But mine is not person. Digsum.
Oh yeah, that Chulanga Senji, Zobaji, Yula, Jeje, Tambi, Yuna, Conjunction, and
Less so?
Tag want to say Yuna Damani, the Kazaka Dam, Church Damani.
Less so?
Devi Yuna, Sanji Dan, Shanchu, Samba Naji, Tochambote. They are no better shebi to dance. Touchable said the Tokarja was na. When she ngoba shebi to. Paruji but drogi to. And the Sokangal Neba Euro. Ngoba shell Neba Euro. Paruji but roll Neba Euro. Tosa Nebalco Euro. Haji GB tos, Haji GB to. Haji GB to Totan Son Monza. Tambi Yune, Sanji Dan, Shanju Samba Naji, to Chenmo Dayan, Noba Shebi Todan, Paru Chimba Trogi Todan, Henji Jibi Toson Dos, Toson, Toson Nebali, Neba in Neba. Tangaso Mel, Susul Neba Duata, Tola de Dato.
So, again, we have the patience of certitude about the teachings means generating the forbearance of conviction. It has 8 topics. 1, object of faith. This is the good qualities of the 3 jewels. 2, the object to be actualized. This is the reality of the 2 selflessnesses, selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena. 3, the desired object. This is the great powers of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of which there are 3. The power of the super knowledges, so the clairvoyances, the power of the 6 perfections, so here power meaning ability, and the power which is innate. So this is the 3. Number 3, Sumbatsar.
Ta Lando Juyunes, Leba Shibata Nyaba Shibas, Leshi Danyashi Zagruta, Leba Shibas Nangasu, the Goatu Sunga Leshi in Yerwa, Magoatu Nyaba Shiba in Jere. Nyaba Shibi Judans, Leshi Danyashi Judan, the Dag and Devon Debatam and Debas, Leshi and Devon Dewayungre, Dogrua, Nyashi and Devon Dungan and Debarua. Lando Juyune, Leshi Dan, Nyaba Shibi Judan, the Dag and Debos, Nyashi and Devo, Dungan, Leshi and Devo, Doa. Judan, the Dag and Devon Debatan, the one Dogre, Dungam Dogmaro, Mudabate, the news show, Tangani Dangures.
Number 4, the object to be adopted. This is wanting both the cause, good deeds, and the effect, these deeds. So not wanting the bad deeds and the effect of bad deeds, wanting the cause of good deeds and the effect of these deeds. Number 4.
Da Gombi Yune, Toja Shanchu Dong, Gombi Yune, Toja Shanchu Dong, to be top Shansenji Labi Lana Lan Tanji de are news Shawosa. Gombi Yune, Toja Shanchu Jije,
I missed one.
the Toji top Shansenji Laba, Shansenji Labi Lan Tanji. Da Toja Shanchu Dang, to be Shanchu Shansenji Lajani Rajang Gures, Toja Shanchu Dang Jije, the to be taught Shanchu Toji taught the le, and then Shanchu to the sentient, and Tolan Jolan Tolan to Laguma, Toro, the Atanga, the Baranga, the Barasanga, the Medesua, Tolan Jolan to Tomar.
Let's so.
What does the lady say?
So then we have the object of meditation, that is the goal to be achieved. The goal to be achieved is enlightenment. And then the object of meditation, that is the method for achieving the goal. So the method for achieving the goal is by reliance on the paths of training in the spirit of enlightenment and relying on the method of the 5 paths We find in the Sutra of the Heart of Transcendent Knowledge a mantra that's embedded within it that refers to the 5 paths. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangati Bodhisoha. These 5 this mantra is referring to the path of accumulation, first gate, the second gate, the path of preparation, the paragate referring to the path of seeing, parasamgati, the path of meditation, and bodhisoha, the path of no more learning. So a path of accumulation, the path of preparation, the path of seeing, the path of meditation, and the path of no more learning. So this is the method for achieving the goal previously stated, which is enlightenment. So the method for achieving the goal of enlightenment is by practicing the paths which are training in the spirit of enlightenment. Digsun.
Gobi ne toja shanchu dan ta tobi ta shansan ji laba. Labi lang tang ji de ya ni su sha wos. Toja shanchu ji ji ta tobi ta ni dang wo re song re. Tue sang ji ji su zhubi yu ne shi ja yu shu yu de ma da ba la su ba. Ma da ba su la
Lesso.
Tu sanji jesu drubi yude ane sheya yushu mata chudu mata ba chudu mata dunga tongda me mata chudu la mata ba la soba zhonglong be ganam ge shin zhonglong be je ge do sa zhonglong be je do to je ri ji lu ne son ro yan la jin yo de le wa da 다게 콜체사다 또 제리지 로네 손로 연라 주니 라소비 담비 출라 제바 손비 담비 출라 제바 손비 대신도 샤 고선 하모스 어디 다는데래도다 또 제리지 로레 또 제리지 로 사가주 인지 가주
The Shansa, Rinpoche. The Shansa Beche. The Leu.
Sonro yola juni, la sobe, o injere, Shansa injere.
Shansa.
Tambi chu, jeba sombe, tejido, gosan hamons. To jiri lo ne, sonro yola juni. Ta sonro yola juni, o taga kul suza de wotere. Sonro yola juni shosana. Dode yanye lonten de chechi toba ju kasa. Dode yanye lonten dode de. Sonro yola juni dene sondo
The scripture. There's no way I can translate this off the cuff. It's not. But maybe you can help. We only have 10 minutes left. Ngatsu karma ju yure Rinpoche. Ngatsu de dutsu mambo gu. The dunchi gemma, the chiguna. Then I can do it. If you give me 5 minutes, I can find it.
ne toba jobi de tetabu shonyu de jebi raji de shedu jebi de medu shonyu de tan la pobi de ne gada shanchu senba na la
It's in Sanskrit.
sheba da shanchu senbe leba tu leba zon kanun chi sonro la juni terendo
It's Sonra Yenla Juni Nge Inchike Sandrake Yure.
sonro la juni de kanju ngala duna sonro la juni duna that.
So we're the Jetsun Shamba Triadan Lenja Rinpoche.
Do de anya no des dan do sonro la juni shosna do de des tambre do
Okay, so
do de des do de yanya be de ne baje rondo tembe de chesu je be de chedu je be de leje de dan
English.
toba je be de dan tetabu shon yu de dan jebi raje de dan chedu je be de dan 매도 쇼유
Oh, those are the
주지
12.
됐다.
Okay, thank you so much.
땡라 봐봐.
Thank you.
데데 데다 샤주 선반 나라 셰바 데다 샤주 선배 레바 투 레바 좀 카는 시스 소로 여러 주니 데려도 소로 주니
Lessa. So we find in the stages of meditation, let me read and then it's going to make sense.
고래 봐봐 놀고
So the object of subsequent practice, we're on number 8. So the object of subsequent practice through study and reflection. According to Drolumpa, this refers to the province of what is to be known, such as impermanence and so forth. The power lineage chapter of the Bodhisattva levels mentions that the 8th is the sublime teaching, the 12 branches of scripture and so forth. So I think you have to take it as being this. So what are the 12 branches of scripture? We find these 12 branches, in the Kamalashila's stages of meditation. And I can, if I had 5 minutes, I can find it in the text so I can show everyone where it is. But we have it pulled up here. So number 1 is the general teachings. Number 2, hymns and praises. Number 3, prophecies. Number 4, teaching in verse. Number 5, aphorisms. Number 6, pragmatic narratives. Number 7, biographical narratives. Number 8, narratives of former events as examples. Number 9, Jatakam narratives of former births. Number 10, extensive teachings. Number 11, narratives of marvels. And number 12, teachings in the profound doctrine. 12 aspects of excellent speech. These are also known as the 12 sections of sutra and are the 12 main divisions of the Buddhist canon. Thank you so much.
Let's Okay.
So we're just about out of time. Let me just make sure that I thank you so much. Just about out of time. So let me just make sure that I've gotten everything that I need to. I wish I could find. Well, we're going to start, just so everyone knows, we are going to have a class on the stages of meditation that starts the first Wednesday of every month, which will start this first Wednesday coming. The first Wednesday of the month. It's not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So we'll be going through this whole text, so we'll become more familiar with it and be able to really pinpoint where each of these points that Rinpoche makes are. We see him quote this text all the time, so that's why I requested him to teach it, because we haven't had a teaching in all these years on it. So that's very wonderful. So why don't we do the concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer, and we'll just conclude there, and then the last pages of the book. Sheda Pentodu Rinpoche, Sheda Silpaldu, Tuchena. The Delpa Yomare, the Tsawa. Gorin Papa. Ngay the Jao Rinpoche Delpa Yure.
Okay.
Nga the Delpa Jenda Yomare. Gesh Sopa Delpa Yure. Okay, so concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drapa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well. Whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times, I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the precious Khensur Wanda, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trains extensively in the philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Geshe Rinpoche Gutsi Shapi Denana. The